Hi there. Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Let me tell you, last week was an interesting week. I had to put Chippy in the cone of shame. Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you. And this is what I want to share. This is going to be part of the message. That's why I'm sharing the cone of shame with you today. So I put it on Chippy because he had a little ear infection going on. And he went ballistic. Kidding it all, he was very dramatic about it. Let's just say didn't like it. Raced all over, and he was just constantly clawing at it, clawing at it, clawing at it. And eventually, he just got to the place of acceptance and just and sat down with the cone on his head and just laid there. And I was sitting there thinking about it. That's acceptance. He went through the whole acceptance process. He was trying to fight it, trying to figure out ways to work around it, but eventually he just had to accept. I gotta wear this. I gotta wear this cone of shame, and there's nothing I can do about it. Hold on, let me get off this group text message. Nothing I can do about it. And I was thinking about that as well, with the alcoholic or the addict or anybody suffering from any sort of problem that they're having trouble accepting. That's it's like wearing the cone of shame. We don't want to wear it. We don't want to have to deal with it. We would rather have a life without it, but it's not possible. And so we're going to run around, fight it, try and claw our way out of whatever it is until we finally just come to the point of, all right, this is what it is. I'm going to have to deal with it and hope it gets better. And, he's not wearing the cone of shame anymore. In fact, he actually learned how to use the cone of shame as a benefit. He figured out you can store his little stuffed animal right here. So he would walk around his little stuffed animal and have a little place. So to park it, and that's too with any sort of place. Once we finally come to that place of acceptance of what we're dealing with, or at least I did when I came to the acceptance that, shoot, I'm an alcoholic and my life is really screwed up right now. Then I was able to start doing something with it and making something out of it, and working to not have to wear the cone of shame. And it felt like when I first came into the rooms that I had a big cone of shame just sitting on my head, and I wore it every day, and finally, eventually I didn't have to wear it anymore. I was okay. I was okay with who I was. I was okay with my disease. And my disease at that point, by the time the cone of shame, my virtual cone of shame that I wore and placed myself in, by the time that was done, I was okay. I learned to live life without alcohol and have not just an okay life, this amazing life. And many people right now, especially during this time of year, are having to kind of come to that place of acceptance. I promise you today, there's many people wearing their own virtual cones of shame. And I'm sure I'll see many of them come into the rooms of 12-step recovery. We always do. We always see it around this time of year because things, alcohol is aplenty, drugs are out there, shopping is going like crazy, food is everywhere. So any kind of addiction, you name your addiction, the holidays got you covered one way or another. So people are coming to terms with whatever their virtual cone of shame is, and they're going to have to figure out, okay, I've got the cone of shame on. What am I going to do? I got to accept that I've got this problem. The serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I can't change that I'm an alcoholic. It is who I am. I'm an alcoholic. Um, Courage to change the things I can. I don't have to live in the disease of alcoholism. I can change myself to where I can live my life as an alcoholic in recovery one day at a time and not feed the toxic, sick side of the disease. Instead, feed the spiritual solution through which I found relief for my alcoholism. And that seems to work for me, and the wisdom to know the difference. Um, you know, Acceptance is a powerful tool today. Um, and don't be afraid of acceptance. It truly is the doorway to freedom. It really is. And so many people fight that acceptance. And finally, it's just when you stop the fighting and just accept, okay, I give up. I give up. I don't want to do this anymore. You don't have to do it anymore. You can find a solution out there. Go out and seek a solution. Now, solution isn't, I always say seek the light, not the dark. And the solution is not going towards the dark side of drinking more, I'm an alcoholic. I might as well just drink myself, just accept I'm an alcoholic and drink myself to death. No, no, you don't accept it. You accept, okay, these are the cards I'm dealt. And now what am I going to do with it? I'm going to find my way to the light. I'm going to find my way out so I don't have to live this crazy life anymore that I don't want to be living. And, and just take one step every day towards that light. You don't get there all at once. It just takes time, but eventually you'll find you'll find your way to the light, and it'll be beautiful. Let me read you. This is from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it talks about, this is a famous, if anybody in recovery who is in Alcoholics Anonymous, they would know this, because this is really, the story just says it all about acceptance. So I'm going to end with this and share it with those of you who may not be in any sort of 12-step recovery. It's a beautiful message, and I think it's a wonderful way to end this. Okay, so, and it says, and acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I am disturbed, it's not because it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me, and I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Until I could accept my alcoholism, I could not stay sober. Unless I accept life completely on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world as on what needs to be changed in me and in my attitudes. So I can't change the world's problems today, but I can accept they are what they are, and how are they going to affect me, and how am I going to respond to it? How am I going to react to it? And then just, give it to God. Give it to God and do the footwork and leave the results in his hands, because, that's all I know to do. And that's always turned out to be the most perfect possible way. And I don't always see it in the moment, but in hindsight, God's always there. God's always been there. So I wish for you that if you've got the cone of shame on today, don't worry. Just get to the place of acceptance. You're going to wear the cone of shame until you don't have to wear the cone of shame anymore, until you get better, until you find the light. And then you'll be free. And then you don't have to walk around with that virtual cone of shame on. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Hopefully you won't be wearing the cone of shame. And if you are, that's okay. I'll still be here. We'll still be talking. Or another positive message with the Monday messages. If you're liking these, subscribe. Let's keep in touch. And I will see you next week for another edition of Monday Messages.